As we round the 1 minute mark to roller derby, we're here on track to the very last game of the day. VRDL has just beaten Sun State. That's the B team. The C team, of which we're currently underway, waiting for the start of, are now about to play Auckland Roller Derby Bolts. Totes, Orcs, if I get the names wrong. But I'm going to run through the teams quickly. In 24 seconds, I can totally do it. 13, Benedict. This is Auckland Roller Derby. 13, Benedicta. 14, Venus Thigh Trap. 1902, Pyrocluster Flow. 25, Riley Coyote. 27, Smith. 36, Heartbreaker Baker. 49, Sassy. 76, Resident Evil. 86, Ellen McKenzie. And on the Brent, Fatal Traxon, Schrodinger and Bruiser. And the Victorian VICs, we have number 5, Golden Sleigh Time, number 13, Frankie, 1305 Tricks, for 18, Kathleen Slammer, 304 Thumper, 425 Jack Be Quick, 429 Fast Slap, 4711 Roxy Horror, 46 Steel Thunder, 64 Hagberg, 666 Hellfire, 7 Pasco, 76 Crashing Hamlet, and 88 Monk, and 9 Lethal. They are off and going, these two great teams. I'm Chief Intent. I'm here by my lonesome because it's the last game of the day and I think everyone else is buggered, and I would not let my VRDL women play a game without me by their side, cheering them on from the talkie spot. So straight out of the bat, we do have 0-0 score. So it is neck and neck at this juncture of the game. And it has been a mammoth day here of roller derby. We have Fast Lap up against number 36, Heartbreaker Baker, for Auckland Roller Derby. So Fast Lap continuing what I believe may be a 100% lead jam rate over the entire tournament so far. Not sure if that's I've commentated every game and I haven't seen a lose one, but there's probably someone going through the footage going, yep, found it. But as far as I'm concerned, and far as I can remember, lead jammer status. So we've got a multiplayer block on Auckland, and that is number 25, Riley Coyote. Fast Lap, if you have been watching over the last few days, Fast Lap has been doing such a great job in the jammer capacity, and also we've been making a little bit of fun out of her hair movements because she's got these amazing plaits, and she flips around, and it all looks like one plait at the moment because she's been playing a lot of games today and got a little static electricity. I think they're not as together as they once were. But you can play along at home. We do a bit of a whoo, whoo every time she flings them around her shoulder after they get in the way. So, here we go. Plaits are around the front. Let's have a look. Whoo, whoo. Fast Lap. Another 5 points on the board. 15 points so far. 30 seconds left in this jam. And Baker makes her way through to the sin bin for Auckland Roller Derby. Oh, Seb and his magical dancing fingers again. Jack Be Quick makes their way through to the sin bin. I'm not too sure what they were sent out for, mind you. Fast Lap again, whoo, throwing that plait around. We have number 27, a star pass going on. Pack being called from that ref there, and Fast Lap calling that off before any points can be made. An amazing jam, and 25 points going to Fast Lap in the first blood in this matchup between VRDL and Auckland Roller Derby. If you're out there watching this game live, feel free to chat on in because I'm all by my lonesome and you can just keep me company. I say I'm all by my lonesome, but I'm surrounded by about 300 people, so not that lonesome. Roxy Horror on the inside track, and they have the lead jam with 2. Trying to count the fingers. And I'm like, hang on a second. That just means lead jam. Number 86 for Auckland. That is Ellen McKenzie please excuse me while I'm just getting familiar with the Auckland names and peoples. A massive kia ora if you're over there in New Zealand and watching Auckland play from over there. Big fan of Aotearoa. 429 fast lap up against 36 Baker for Auckland. I really like Auckland's pants. I've actually been seeing them all the way through this weekend. Baker trying to find the inside edge. Their pants is lightning bolts on one side and black on the other, which is pretty cool. For a second there, I thought fast lap was not going to keep up her 100%er, but she did keep it up and is continuing her fine tradition of being the lead jammer. She's going to be gutted one day when she gets not lead jammer. She's going to rock her socks off. Her plaits might fall out. That's how bad it's going to be. Rightio, back in the action, and Pack is a bit wide, being called to reform there by the refs, and more points on the board for fast lap. Seb doing the fancy finger action and wiggling all his little and tippy fingers. Fingertips? Tippy toes, fingertips. Fast lap. Another 5 points on the board. So distracting, those little fingers. Right. Fast lap on the board. 15 points. And a very standstill Pack over in the opposite side of the track where I can't see very well. Fast lap is doing a monster jam right now. I think that's 25. Could be. She's still got 42 seconds left and she's sitting on 20 at the moment. There's another 5. Now we've got, I'm just trying to have a look out and see if we've got the jammer there. It might be, for Auckland, it might be the pivot holding the helmet cover at the moment, which is probably why everyone's all over the pivot over there. Number 9, Lethal, whose mum's probably still in California, still checking it out. Been a very devoted fan over there watching her daughter Lethal play today. And a great companion on the interwebs. Meanwhile, back at the game, fast lap is putting one leg out and skating backwards. I think ended up with another 5 points, putting that as a 35-point jam, which is a monster jam, against the Auckland Bolts. 23-21 seconds. So 23 minutes left in this half. Number 86, Ellen McKenzie, up against number 333, Anita Amputate. Anita Amputate just returning from an injury, and her first game back was actually earlier on this afternoon, and came out of the gates like an absolute champion. Speaking of coming out of the gates like a champion, Ellen McKenzie was going so super quick, a little bit slippery on turn 4, but she's straight back up and cracking it. We've got 1 point on the board and 0. So Seb's got one finger up and 11:58, nothing. So 1 to the VICs, 0 to the Bolts, and that's pretty much all comes down to Ellen McKenzie's speedy skating skills. Number 27, which is Smith for Auckland, and Whitby, who's also been having a fantastic day today, doing some really great work there in the jamming. We've got Guillotine Bonaparte in that defensive line, and it's hard to see. They keep turning around. Number 7, we've got Pascoe in that pack, doing a great job holding back Smith, and just pretty much at a standstill, doing some great work, and it looks like Monk is also in there as well. Meanwhile, Whitby's flying around, putting some points on the board. Lead jammer ready to make some points. Number 27, Smith, is caught up still in that front pack. Whitby sliding through, 5 points on. We've had a star pass. Now 49 is in charge. I think it's Sassy perhaps. If you look at that, still cheering on Lethal on the internet. 3 a.m. in California. That is dedication. Of course, she is your daughter, so I guess that's the appropriate level of dedication. Sassy, 49. I'm hoping it's Sassy. I'm going to go with Sassy. And that's the jam. What a big day of roller derby it has been, and now is no different. VRDL, notorious VIC's 70, and Auckland is yet to break on any points at this juncture. There is a bit of a team timeout going on, so it's probably a good time to sit down and take stock and go, right, what are we going to do in there? What's our plan of action? Let's get out there with a plan and smash it. It's been a long day here at TGSS, but a good one. A really, really, really good one. It calms down at this time of night. But you know what? This is an important game. This is the Div 2 semi-finals. You know? The winner of this goes on to take over the world as far as I can tell. I don't know how the system works. But Div 2 tomorrow, the winner of this, I think, pretty much goes through to the Div 2 Grand Final. And the loser would then go through to the battle for third. And we are straight back into this. Roxy Horror getting nudged a little bit out there. And they are back in no pass, no penalty. Is it a cut track? It does seem like a cut track. Obviously, there was someone that they had missed, and Roxy's making their way now through to the sin bin. And now we have our very first Auckland lead jammer and Mackenzie. So Mackenzie is certainly going to want to look to capitalise on this. And Auckland are on the board. Hips. Come on, Hips. Get on past. There it is. Bit of help from team. Great work there. Mackenzie, 5 points on the board. Auckland on the board. Great work there. A lot of love here for Auckland, which is great to see. I love our New Zealand neighbours, and it is so fantastic to see 4 teams come down here and play in the TGSS. It just would not be the same without them, and I'm so super glad that they're here. Mackenzie still in charge, still putting points on the board. Ice Skate went out, but she's just evaluating her options at the moment. Very good work. Lethal trying to take her out on the inside edge. Not good enough because Ellen did find her way on the outside and put another 4 points on the board. So I tell you what, if you're going to have to get on the board, you might as well do it like this. And Ellen standing up, looking around and going, you know what? Is she going to call it? No. I know her benchies are saying call it. She's just trying to get past some people. Roxy Horror as now, she's so quick. Roxy Horror, apologies. They are so quick that they put points on the board, and it's pretty much even. The Bolts have managed to get 4 more there, but Roxy, quick as a flash, putting on points whilst Ellen was caught up there in front of those VRDL blockers. Fast lap up against Baker from the Bolts. 18 minutes left in this half. 79 plays 13. It is fast lap again with her 100% lead jam ratio. She's nodding to me. She cannot hear a single thing I'm saying. She's probably nodding to somebody else, but who knows? In this big old world of any possible eventuation can be. I'm going to take it that she was nodding to me. Who cares about reality? We've got fast lap on the other hand. Now going through. Making sure her plats are out the back and putting another 5 points on the board. Another meaning the first 5. So now through the pack is Auckland. Big smile on her face. That's Baker. 36 for Auckland. 9 points in total for fast lap, making it 88-13 in favour of the VICs. Anita Amputate up against Ellen Mackenzie, the single scorer for Auckland. Oh, thanks, Chloe. Telling me I'm doing a great job. This is just what I need to hear. Otherwise, I feel like a big old dork in a room by myself. So I appreciate your feedback. It's real lovely. Ellen McKenzie is looking to capitalise on what's happened after her last jam, and it almost gets lead jam, but not quite there. Anita Amputate is lead jam here, and Ellen striking, constantly striking at these VRDL blockers and getting nudged on out on the inside edge. 5 points on the board for Anita Amputate. Ellen, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Going to have to go back again, getting recycled after recycled. Roller derby, the only place where recycling is not a good thing. If you're at home, make sure you're recycling your plastics, use less waste, and make the planet a more beautiful place. Meanwhile, over here, recycle less, please, thanks. It's not nice. The jammers have a hard time with it. We had a star pass somewhere in the middle there. I apologise, I was too busy ranting about recycling. Sassy ended up with the star, and we ended up with a 10-0 jam there in favour of the VICs. I'm not in charge of the cameras. Quark, quack, 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 quack. Is it possible for the camera person to zoom in a little when the action's down at 1 and 2? It probably is possible, but it's not my department. Look, if you call through to customer service on 1300 TGSS, I'm sure someone will be able to assist you during the hours of 9 to 5. If not, please leave a message and we'll get back to you straight away. Number 61, Whitby, hitting the back of the pack. I do think we had a multiplayer block there from Auckland, and someone is being sent off. That's number 25 being sent off, Riley Coyote. But Whitby is wagging her finger, saying, you know what? I want some points. Baker, 36. She is a smiley skater from the lovely long land of the long white cloud. Every time she finishes jam, even though she's got no points, she just goes back to the bench and has a bit of a smile about it. I love that. Roxy Horror up against Ellen McKenzie. Ellen McKenzie obviously in high rotation for Auckland as being one of the major scorers on the board for them. Ellen looking for a bit of the inside edge. Rocky Horror looking to push through the middle, and they have now done that, and Roxy Horror are lead jammer. But Ellen not far behind. Certainly Ellen McKenzie, a great jammer, very, very quick, and Roxy calling it off. Great work. And keeping Ellen at a none, 4-0. A really great jam there for Roxy, and I'm sure they'll be pretty happy with themselves over that one. Fast slap. Look at look at those plats. They were perfect plats this morning. If you've been watching VRDL VICs throughout the day, you're probably sick of me talking about plats, but you know what? This is how everyone feels at the end of the day at TGSS. A little bit less pretty and a little bit all over the place because they've given it their all. Speaking of giving it their all, fast lap, lead jammer. Oh, it's all right, Quark. I know you're only asking. It's out of my control. I'll tell you what you can do, though. Get some binoculars and see if you can zoom in yourself at home on your telly. I don't know if that works, but at least it'll get bigger. Give it a crack. Fast lap on the track. Trying to put more points on the board. She is in range to put points on the board. We've got a multiplayer block and the pivot coming off for VRDL, which is number 18. And number 18 is Mean Slammer, Kath Mean Slammer. And far slap, 5 points on the board. My name, oh, this is a lovely comment. Tristan Lovett, I'm sorry, but I missed who the commentator is. You're fantastic and sound like one of my favorite YouTubers. Well, My name is Chief Intent. I'm the regular commentator here for VRDL. For the All-Stars, the Bs and the Cs, any kind of VRDL commentating, I'll probably be there making my little noises in the corner. And thank you very much for saying how much you appreciate my stuff. Oh, 4 points. Meanwhile, here I am talking about myself like an egomaniac. And 4 points go to Auckland Roller Derby. And I missed it. Anyway, look at them all. I love Auckland. Look at them. They're so happy. And I'm really happy that they're happy. And everyone's happy because it's happy o'clock. And need to amputate. 333 up against Mackenzie. Alan McKenzie, number 86. Thanks, Clark. I'll pass on your appreciation. You're welcome for the commentating. I do it for the love. I do it for the love. Certainly, there is no money in commentating, but I really do like it. And it's my way of contributing my skills to roller derby, because if you put me on skates, I look a little bit like an electrocuted fish. So I'm glad that that's not occurring, and you're probably all glad that that's not occurring also. Meanwhile, I can offer what I can offer, and here's Anita Amputate and Ellen McKenzie on the jam line offering what they can offer, which is amazing level of sportsmanship. Anyone know what's going on here? Tristan, love it. I guess I'll hear your voice a fair bit then, because you've recently moved to Melbourne. Thanks, Steve. Giving me an old good job from the UK. Remember you from the last game. If you come to Melbourne and listen to a live game of VRDL, you will definitely hear me in the corner, because I'm on a repeat on their stereo. Anita Amputate has recently transferred over from South Sea Roller Derby, and when I say recently, I mean 2 years ago. But she's been injured and only recently come back. Today's her first day back on the track. And boy, is she loving it. I had a brief chance to chat with her just before. She's a superstar, such a lovely person. And she's really enjoying being back. So we're enjoying having her back on the track, and she's enjoying being there. Everyone's enjoying it. Total, absolute love fest over here in TGSS. Number 61, Whitby, up against number 36, Baker. Baker, the smiliest skater on the track at the moment. If there's any awards to be given away, the golden teeth, anything like that, I would be giving it to her right now. She is... Oh, hang on. That's better. My whole headset came out then. It was a bit of a tragedy. But how awesome is Heartbreaker Baker? I know why she's a heartbreaker, because she smiles all the time. And smiling people break hearts, because it's in their MO. Because they're too busy smiling and everyone else is too busy getting heartbroken over it. Well, that's why my headset came out. It's all my headset. So, Steve, sorry I missed your name. My name is Chief Intent. I couldn't see a list of commentators on the website. Well, I'm going to see if I can get someone to put one up, because we're unsung heroes until you put a microphone in our face, and then we'll sing our own praises. That's pretty much how it goes in the commentator world. If you give us a microphone, we suddenly become front and center, advertising ourselves all the time. So, yeah. Tristan, love it. I hope you join VMRD. So, woohoo. Yeah, the Vanguard are a fantastic team. I highly encourage you to join them, because they are superstars also. Do you know what? This whole event is packed full of superstars. And if you ever want to, if you're out there and you're thinking, you know what, TGSS seems so big, such a big thing, I don't know if I could ever really get involved, you're missing out. Because it's such a great place where everyone just comes together, they dress colourfully, they interact, everyone's so super friendly, and you should get on down here, because it's a super, super way to spend a long weekend. High fives all around. 12-point jam to the VIC. Roxy Horror up against number 86, Mackenzie. Steve, did you commentate at the World Cup in Manchester? I most certainly did. I commentated the grand final for the World Cup for women in Manchester in February with the amazing John Horton as VRDL, as Australia was in the grand final. So back to here, though, we have a neck-and-neck situation with this super speedy Ellen Mackenzie right up against Roxy Horror. And Roxy just not wanting to tempt fate and calling it off, which is probably a smart move. Yeah, I commentated the World Champs, and it was awesome. It was seriously one of the most fun things I've ever done, and commentating with an international set of commentators and such an illustrious group of commentators was definitely one of the highlights of my commentating career, if not the highlight. Fast lap, lead jammer, not letting anyone down, keeping that 100% ratio. And in the back, Baker, the smiliest skater on the track, not smiling at the moment, so maybe we'll just turn the cameras away. But, yeah. Oh, Steve, thought you recognised your voice. Very distinctive, sat in the front row of the final. Well, I was the one going Aussie, 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 and getting told off for being a homer and cheering on my own team. But I was like, you know what? Whatever, everybody. You know, when Australia makes it to the grand final against USA, who've never been beaten, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Fast lap, 5 points on the board. Seb with his magical fingers. Out the back, Smith is the current jammer for the Bolts in exactly the wrong spot, so I can't actually see Smith at the moment. But fast lap, no pass, no penalty. Any points on the board? Oh, no, actually. Getting sent out. Blocking with the head. It looks like blocking of the head. Pants, Tristan Lovett. I'd love to hear a game commentated by you and Pants. Me and Pants are good mates. He's a great commentator, and he's also a big guy. We're both 6 foot. I'm 6'2". He's like 6'4". So we've both got sort of deep, dulcet tones, ready to wind up your roller derby good times. Meanwhile, back on the track, Fast Lap looking to increase her ever-growing amount of points. And 5 more points as held up by Seb and his magical dancing fingers. Do you see that dancing there, Lethal's mum? Because that was your daughter doing a bit of show pony out here on turn 4. Ellen Mackenzie, number 886, up against Anita Amputate, triple 3. Anita Amputate, lead jammer. Ellen Mackenzie still involved there, but now getting around through to the front. Great work against probably one of the strongest defensive teams in this division. So Ellen Mackenzie should certainly be taking her hat off, because not only is she quite quick, but she is incredibly versatile on her skates. And getting around those front VRDL blockers is no easy feat. So we have just 4.5 minutes left in this half. 3 points in that last jam to the VICs, held down by Ellen and her ability to get around the track so quickly. 159 points to the VICs versus Auckland Roller Derby Bolts, 17 points. We've got Whitby up against Heartbreaker Baker. Breaker. But Baker has saw her opportunity and taken it. You know what? We have a power jam situation. Baker, if you thought she was smiling before, you wait to see what happens after this jam, because I have a distinct feeling after she puts some points on the board against VRDL, she's going to be grinning from ear to ear. the only jammer on the track. Whitby now stands up ready to rejoin this team of blue and white on the track. Guillotina Bonaparte being sent off, not too sure, didn't see what the actual fence was. Baker, though, looking up, and there's that smile, shakes her hand, and she's like, yeah, getting points on the board. Caught that, VRDL. Flew over here to put some points on the board, and guess what I did? Put points on the board. Oh, did she? Did she not? Who knows? I think she's all good. On the toe stops, just on the inside edge. She's in, and she's in. Absolutely fantastic work there by Heartbreaker Baker. She's going to be stoked with herself. 9 unanswered points and ready to put a few more points on. She's still got 30 seconds on the clock. And Whitby, not any points at this current stage. There goes another 4 unanswered points. Is she going to call it? No. She's just going to wind it up. That's good. That's good. 13 unanswered points to Heartbreaker Baker. Coming through on the one skate. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's just lapped Whitby. That is so awesome. Really, really great work there by Heartbreaker Baker. What an amazing jam. If I was on the house speakers right now, I would get everybody to stand up and go absolutely bananas because that was so good for Auckland. And if you're at home in New Zealand, I hope you're going bananas for Heartbreaker Baker because she just pulled off a fantastic jam for her team. She's just basically doubled the point score of their entire team in one jam. What an amazing, amazing jam. Oh. Okay, Adam Baines will call Ellen the slippery fish. You can call her the slippery fish. Ellen is a very prominent skater. You know, we've got 1 minute and 7 seconds left in this half. 172 meets 35 for Auckland Roller Derby. 9 points on the board. We're coming up here with Fast Lap up against Baker, number 36. And are we ready for the jam? And here we go. So the whistle's been blown, and it is time. Fast Lap looking to keep her amazing status of 100% jam and keeps it. So Baker on the outside, looking to get through those front blockers, not having much trouble. Sorry, not having much luck. Got the hiccups, the worst enemy of the commentator. Fast Lap on the outside edge. 5 points in the sky for her. And looking to increase that. We have run out of time on the period clock, but Fast Lap is in control. And Heartbreaker Baker is yet to now has just done her initial scoring pass, and so she's going to be looking at that, and Fast Laps might call it off right about now. So keeping Heartbreaker Baker at 0, and that's Fast Lap keeping 12 points to herself. Her overall jamming statistics of this weekend are going to be off the charts. So many points have gone to Fast Lap. Every single jam has gone to Fast Lap, and she's going to walk away with this with massive smile on her face, as well she should, and so should the VRDL Notorious VICs. We're going to have a brief 15-minute break. Don't go anywhere. We will be back, and we will escort you through the second half of this game, the last game of the second day of TGSS 2018. I'm Chief Intent. See you soon. And if you're out there in the internet land, we've got 1 minute and 7 seconds left before we start this second half. A bit of controversy going on. I'm not going to entertain into any of the content just because this is about roller derby. And I know that sometimes things happen in people's personal lives and they can be pretty full on sometimes. But you know what? We hear about the game, and in this game at this particular time, it's not about that specifically. So I don't want to sound discounting, and I don't want to sort of enter into it or disengage from it. But that's all I'm going to say on the issue. Just 1 second as I put on my spectacles so I can see people's numbers and names. Just uno momento, por favor. I had to stop commentating just for a second there because I have to take my headphones off to put my glasses on. And now I can see again. It is Roxy Horror. Now that I can see again, it's Roxy Horror skating around and looking to put some points on the board because now they are lead jammer. And up against Roxy Horror is Ellen McKenzie. Ellen McKenzie, who I've been told is called the slippery fish back at home. You know, there's a real big part of me that wants to say slippery fish, but I would never do that because I respect New Zealand too much to make weird accent jokes. Let's just move on past that one, shall we? Fast Labs up on the jammer line up against number 27, Smith. Agent Smith, I presume. And she bends like they do. Like the real Agent Smith. Fast lap. Continuing her onslaught. 100% lead jam ratio. Slippery fish. With a thin bit of mint filling. What do you think about that? I'm so terrible at it. I apologise. I'm not going to do any more. It's probably not nice. You're probably all sitting there going, I hate you for doing a shit accent of ours. Although Trample did school me, and she said, E's are I's are O's, U's are something else. E's? Oh, I don't know. I'm sure anyway. Anyway, back to the game. Fast lap, lead jammer, number 36, Heartbreaker Baker, now with the star on her head. Fast lap, calling it off though. No points for Heartbreaker Baker. Number 86, Mackenzie up against Anita Amputate. Anita just stopped in and she was like, you know what, I'm really enjoying this game a lot more than the other one. Probably because she was stressed out about her first game back, but she's really loving this. And so it's really good for her to be back on the track. And I love it when people love derby. I love love. I'm a love lover. And if you're out there loving, then good on ya. Okay, Anita Amputate going back behind number 14, Venus Thigh Trap. I thought, you know, there's a player in another team called Venus Thigh Slap, and that was confusing the behemoth out of me. And so they're different people. So if you've heard Venus Fly Slap and Venus Fly Trap, Thigh Trap, Thigh. Oh. The one who skates for Auckland is called Venus Thigh Trap. The one who skates for VRDL is called Venus Thigh Slap. Oh, it's not even by VRDL. Oh, I don't even know. But there's two people, both called Venus Thigh something. Back in the game, although Ellen McKenzie is a lead jammer, 8 points to the Auckland Roller Derby and 4 to the VICs. It's come to a standstill over there, but Ellen is still in charge of this jam. She can do what she wants with it, unless she does a foul. She's going to call it. Probably a good start, considering we have, at this stage, the VIC's jammer in the bin at the moment. That is Anita Amputate. She's in the bin, thinking about the naughty things that she did that I totally missed. And number 27, Smith. The only jammer. Could this be Smith's time to shine? I think it is. Let's do it, Smith. Agent Smith moving like they do. Making room. Great work there from Auckland. Enough to get in front. Smith is lead jammer. There's only one blocker in the way. They're bridging, re-engaging, and forming a three-wall in round it. Great work by VICs. She was pretty much almost out of the gate, and they pretty much, this is what, I don't know if this is called swallowing the baby or eating the baby or doing something about babies and eating them, but they've just re-trapped her and put her, and she's got lead jammer. That was great work by the notorious VICs to stop what was potentially a bunch of points. Now, Smith, on the other hand, probably disagrees with me. She's probably sitting there going, that sucks. But great work by VICs to be able to stop that. Whitby up against Mackenzie. VIC's come back to envelop Mackenzie. They're aware of her potential, her damage potential, because Mackenzie's now through. Lead jammer has gone again to Ellen Mackenzie. She is a real shining star for these bolts. Whitby is like looking around. Looked like she was trying to think about whether or not she's going to call it, but she's not in charge of this. It's Ellen Mackenzie at the moment who is in charge of this, putting 4 points on the board. Whitby's going to just try and match it, I think. And so try and get around, and the rest of the team can make some room. Ellen is going to have to fight for it. She calls it very smartly and grabs the 4 points and takes that 4-point advantage. Great work there by Ellen Mackenzie. Roxy Horror up against number 27, Smith. So Smith was, there wasn't a jam just before this. Had trouble with those blockers. The blockers are right up around her at this stage, giving her a bit of crowd. She's passing it off to Heartbreaker Baker. Now, Heartbreaker Baker is putting the star on, but not lead jammer. And Roxy's just like, right, I'll just call it off. And that's that jam. But kept the VICs to 0 points, so that's not too bad. Now, Mackenzie versus Fast Lap. This is what I've been wanting to see a little bit more of. I want to see, as much as I'm a total VRDL person, I do want to see Mackenzie get lead jam over Fast Lap, just because it's never happened, and I really want to see it. But it is Fast Lap maintaining her perfect 100% jam ratio, not just for this game, but for 3 games consecutively, and calling it off after getting some points. Very smart. Big threat at the moment for VICs, obviously, is Ellen Mackenzie, which means she's doing a fantastic job. And I think that's pretty evident, and I'm sure everyone back in Auckland at the moment would agree with me. But in Auckland at the moment, 3 hours, I don't know about how time, in Adelaide, extra half an hour. I think you guys must now be just past midnight. So if you're still with us, watching the Bolts play, good on you. It's now Monday, so Sunday night, turning into Monday, I believe, at 10 past midnight. Anita Amputate, lead jammer, now in a position to take a stab at the back of the pack and see if she can get some points on the board. It looks like we've got a back block going to Anita Amputate. Oh, well. So Benchy coming in just to have a bit of a download as they go through there. A multiplayer block, and now Baker is not lead jammer and flying around the back of the track. but we don't actually have a lead jammer. So the 1 minute and 2 seconds left. Anita amputates back into the pack. Baker's probably going to put some more points on the board currently as we speak. And Anita amputate also 4 points on the board. So Baker's caught up in the 3-wall defense of Hellfire, Jack, Be Quick, and Steel Thunder. And looking to find a way through. Baker's got couple of points on the board now. Obviously got the one from inside the bin. And Jack Be Quick, fancy moves. Steel Thunder also fancy moves. Great teamwork on all three of these blockers' behalf. And just re-engaging and really stopping Baker at every possible juncture. Now they're all three back together, which is definitely going to put a crimp in Baker's ability. Baker has now passed it off to number 27, which is Smith, the pivot for the time. And Anita amputate. She's just going to skate on around, add some more points. 14 points to Anita amputate for a no lead jam scenario. Oh, she got that, and that was with 30 seconds off in the sin bin. So great work there. 5 points going over to Baker, Baker Breaker, which puts VRDL on 224 and the Bolts on 60 points. We're now coming around at just 19 minutes and 23 seconds left in this game. And number 86, Ellen McKenzie, gets around and is now lead jammer. Ellen McKenzie, what an absolute superstar of a skater. Oh, gets nudged in on the inside there. Great work by Mean. Mean, Guillotine, Bonaparte, and Pascoe. Good 3-wall there, really shutting down Ellen McKenzie, and they've got to be really happy with their work there. Guillotine is holding and bracing that 3-wall. Good bust in there by Venus Thigh Trap, and able to really break up that 3-wall and give McKenzie a bit of a try there. Pascoe now driving the line back and is really oh, well, the slippery fish has done it again. What do you think about that, New Zealand? Great work there by Whitby. I apologise. I did say I was going to stop doing a shitty New Zealand accent. And that I really stopped now. I really stopped. 18 minutes, 7 seconds left in this half. 228 meets 64. So, if you're tuning in now, I know it's late at night, but tune in tomorrow as well. So tomorrow in Adelaide, in fact, everywhere except for WA and Queensland. Tomorrow is the Queen's birthday weekend. I don't know what's going on in New Zealand. Probably not. You probably have a Queen's birthday on a different day. I don't know why the Queen gets so many birthdays. Probably because she's the Queen. And she's probably about 400 now with the amount of birthdays she's had. Anyway, but tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow is where we have the grand finals. We've got a big day ahead of you tomorrow. We've got Division 1, 3 and 4. Division 1 last versus last. We've got Div 2, 3 versus 4. We've got VRDL All-Stars coming in against the MVPs. We've got the Division 3 grand final, Division 2 grand final, Division 1 grand final, and then finally an awesome after party with a whole bunch of boot scooting, which I'm not super stoked about. I must admit. I mean, I'm all for people boot scooting and line dancing and all whatever they want to be cracking on about. I'm just not. I'm not that kind of fellow. I'm a black clothes wearing sort of dude with trench coats and weird voices. Roxy Horror, lead jammer, being pointed at by 11:58. Very close behind is Heartbreaker Baker. Both these two jammers are neck and neck. Roxy's probably going to try and hit it and then quit it. No, that is not what's going on right now. So Roxy is just going out there and just skating. Also, Baker, 4 points on the board for the Bolts. Roxy is through and looking at it and calling it off. Great move by Roxy. Definitely in their favour at this juncture. 8 points to 4. So a little slight technical problem there. Not too sure what was going on with the audio. Just thought, I think if you dropped out there, don't worry too greatly. We've rejoined here. Baker and Anita Amputate on the jam line. Everyone else is coming around to crowd it up. Baker on the outside. Great work there. Very fast, and she's very happy with herself. Lead jammer going to Bolts. She tries probably a little two-step to try and get in on the inside edge. They are probably leaving that gap open for her so they could knock her out. She's very quick, and it's very excitable. And calling it off. Let's have a look at this. So we've got 4 points. 4 points, unanswered going to Auckland. Great work there by Baker. Ellen McKenzie up on the line, up against number 61, Whitby. Whitby's pushing the entire Auckland team a little bit forward. Whitby now the lead jammer. Ellen McKenzie not too far behind, getting caught up in front of those VIC blockers at the back there. She's now through. Whitby's going to have a look at this. I wouldn't be surprised if she grabs the 4 points and calls it. There she goes. So Ellen McKenzie really causing a potential threat for VIC. So they're getting in there and really trying to shut her down as quick as they can, and not dragging any of those jams out there. Roxy Horror is going to have to go back. Heartbreaker Baker is still trying to get in the front there. Roxy Horror is whipped, and they have taken the lead. Great work there from Roxy Horror. Not far behind, though, Heartbreaker Baker, who is, whoa, great jump of the apex by Roxy Horror. They're definitely going to be happy with themselves there. That was a fantastic jump, landed. Looks like they might have hurt themselves a little bit, but doing a great job. Hellfire, little peck on the top of the head. Great job from Hellfire also. Fast lap on the jam line. Up against Ellen McKenzie. Number 86, Ellen McKenzie. In there. Is Ellen able to unstuck far lap's reign of jammer terror? No. So, did you see that? The Platts are back. Fast lap maintains her flawless jamming record in this game. 12 minutes, 54 seconds left. Mackenzie held at a standstill for points again there. So I need to amputate 333 up against number 36, Baker. Baker is on a real high at the moment, having put some recent points up against Victoria and knowing now that it is possible. She's now through as well. I need to amputate, getting told to put the points on and I think call it off. There's some skills and calling it. Doing some great work there. I need to amputate, and she's happy with that. Playing a very smart game, the VICs, keeping it very locked down and doing a very good job of it. Whitby up against Mackenzie. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the VICs come back to try and crowd in Mackenzie on the jam line. That 3 blocking team of Hellfire, Jack, and number 46 Steel Thunder has been quite a formidable trio so far in this game and doing a very effective job up against Ellen. Ellen is now through the pack, but not before Whitby can perhaps put her points on the board and then shut it down is, I think, what we'll start to see. Yep. Any quick points on the back end? No. I tell you what, Ellen's so quick, she almost got around whilst Whitby was just trying to get through that front blocker. Ten minutes left in this game. If you are still with us and you've been with us all day, I'd like to say a big thank you to you out there. Our viewership, watching the TGSS from the comfort of your own home and enjoying roller derby as it should be enjoyed with your eyeballs. Watching it, sometimes with your earballs, listening to it, but mostly with your eyeballs, watching. Roxy Horror, lead jammer, now 5 points on the board, and they are having an absolutely stellar game, and they should be incredibly proud of themselves. Roxy Horror has been doing a fantastic job as jammer here for the VICs, and hopefully they will come out of this with a big smile on their face, going, "That was awesome." Number 26-7, Smith for Auckland. Putting on the star as an effective star pass has just come through. Roxy having a bit of a look around, and she's like, they're like, yep, no worries. Got 4 points on the board. Smith, 4 points on the board also. So there we go, and Roxy has come around again and put some more points aboard. And Smith has now entered into the 3 wall of doom. So I don't know if Roxy is going to try and grab a few more points and then keep going. If we're looking to wind the clock down, or we're going to, and so there goes Roxy, and just calling it off at the points they've got there. So another 2. So that's, let me just have a look. So 6 on the board for Smith. She's certainly going to be happy with that. And 22 on the board for the VICs. And we've got 8 minutes just left in the end of this game here tonight. It's the last game of tonight. I've commentated 5 games tonight over today, each of them being like an hour and something per game. And you know what? I love it. I love it. It's nice commentating. It's good fun. And I'm just happy to be part of it. You know, there's a lot of love here. I'm happy with it. Anita Amputate, lead jammer, coming around to put some points on the board. In a really good position at the moment. There's a star pass underway between Smith and the pivot for Auckland, who I can't actually see her number at this stage. As soon as she turns around, I'm going to be able to tell you who it is. I think it's Venus Thigh Trap, which would be nice to see. I haven't seen Venus Thigh Trap do much jamming. But it's still actually in the hand of Smith. So Anita is in a great position. There has been no initial pass made, so Anita can just put some points on freely without worrying at the moment. Anita comes through, breaks up some of that Auckland pack, and the bolts now scatter through, probably going to try and assist their jammer to make that initial pass. And there we go. We've got a star pass that's been successfully transacted, and it's now in the hands of Venus Thigh Trap. Anita Amputate is calling it. Great work there by Anita Amputate, and a nice even 20 to round out the VICs up to 300 points just as we hit the 6-minute mark to go. Number 86, Ellen McKenzie, up against number 61, Whitby. It is Ellen who is the lead jammer and having a great game here against the VICs. We got a fast-moving pack, very, very clever skating. Guillotina Bonaparte coming in, having a big hit on Ellen McKenzie, and just as they're calling it off. But 4 unanswered points, and Ellen should be really happy with herself today. She's really done a great job here against the VICs, and a very formidable jammer in her own right. We've got a team timeout underway for Auckland. So we are just 5 minutes away from the end of the day, day 2. It seems like it takes months to get here, and it takes a very short time to be over. So tomorrow, so many lovely things to be a part of. And some of the people can just relax as their games are finished, and some can sit and cheer as the favourite teams they've seen rise through the ranks get a chance to go for gold. Rocky Horror up against Heartbreaker Baker on the jam line. Very similar physiques. Very different styles. Roxy Horror, I couldn't praise them enough with how fantastic they've been throughout this competition. Just an absolute stalwart in the jamming scene, and incredibly reliable. And they should really walk away from this incredibly happy. Lead jammer goes to Roxy Horror again. Again, another skater who I'd love to see the stats of at the end of this, because they've done some amazing work out there. Good work, Roxy. They're putting points on the board at this stage. It caught up right in the middle of Auckland. Forearm penalty. I'm not too sure. There we go. It was the Auckland pivot getting a forearms penalty. And that was number 27, and Smith. Roxy Horror, 5 fingers in the air. 10 points on the board. And 42 seconds left on the clock. Getting told to call it off. Stumbling as it hits to the ground, but still manages to call it off before getting to the ground. Three and a half minutes left as they line up for probably the last 2 or 3 jams. Fast lap up against Ellen McKenzie. Fast lap. Big day for both these two teams. They probably played, I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3 games today, but good on them. They've done a fantastic job. Fast lap. The lead jammer? Fast lap, the lead jammer for Notorious VICs. And Ellen right behind and continually showing the strength of her skills to get through the VIC's front blockers. .236. Anita Amputate coming out. We're missing a jammer. We could do with a jammer. There we go. Heartbreaker Baker. Anita looking to find some of the inside edge there, and does so after a little bit of hustly-bustly. Baker is looking for a bit of spot there, but I'm not. She's done a star pass. I'm not too sure. I think she must have just needed to get in there and do a bit of blocking. But Smith is now in possession of the star, and Anita is in possession of 5 more points. So that's 5 more than she had before, which was none, making it a grand total of 5. Now, 5 more, 10. If this keeps up, she'll have 15 before she knows it. Successful star pass is now being finalised. That happened a little while ago. Smith has now adorned the star. Anita is tapping out. Thanks very much, Anita. 14 points. That last lap didn't lap the jammer, that's why. So 14 unanswered points goes to Anita Amputate. We could be potentially seeing the very last jam now. Ellen McKenzie up against Whitby. Whitby having a little word there. Do you know what that was? It was probably saying, I really like your cool pants with the lightning bolts on it. And Ellen was like, I'm going to destroy you with my cool jamming skills. Whitby, lead jammer. Ellen trying to make her way through those front blockers. Period clock on about 33, 32 seconds. Jam clock well above that on about 140. So 5 points in the air for Whitby. Also having a great game. Also having a great day. And Whitby should be incredibly proud that she's had also a great day. And Mackenzie. Oh. Mackenzie just getting nudged out there. I missed who that was. It might have been Lethal. But, Whitby's being sent off. That means that it's going to go the full 1 minute left. Who knows? She could have gone for that anyway. But Mackenzie gets her opportunity to show her stuff a little bit longer. Mackenzie is a great skater, and she's been doing some great work, even up against Lethal and Frankie. Just then, just bending in ways to get around those blockers. That is just, it shows strength and yards of class. Trying to jump the apex, not managing to do it cleanly. It's now getting recycled and going to have a stab again at these VIC blockers. Lethal is trying to stop her. Mackenzie. Lethal comes back here. And good on Mackenzie. We're looking at another 5 points there for Mackenzie. A jam that initially went the other way with Whitby. And we're all done. So, another 4 points on the board for Whitby. Final jam in the favour of Mackenzie. Great work. Thank you very much out there in the internet land. I'm happy to have commentated to you all day today, and I'll be back and around and all over the place tomorrow, and hopefully on your internet screens, assisting you in watching and listening to the roller derby of any VRDL game I can get my hands on. So the unofficial score, 338 to 92, until we get a little bit more whistles. And then we'll be pushing into full officiality and finalising for the end. And Auckland are happy. Look at them. They're all incredibly happy and smiley. They're making a bridge. VICs are also happy. As well they should be. They played some amazing derby over this last couple of days, and I'm sure tomorrow will be no different when it comes to grand final time. Fantastic work. It still says unofficial score there. I'm pretty sure it's official. Now, I've been Chief Intent. Thanks very much for coming in and listening to me by myself commentating a game. It's been special, and just remember the derby is all about love and connection and good sports and smashing people and having good times and TGSS. And thanks very much for having me, Chief Intent. Out.